FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
So we have in place a continuation of the military-industrial media complex, building empire, pushing world dominance, a military budget higher than under Bush even, and a continued expansion of war and global military empire and dominance. It's not being reversed. And I know that's concerning. Instead, you know, front page stories are the Somali pirates for a couple of weeks, and then it was the flu. I mean, we find these new enemies. The Somali pirates are our new enemies, and we have a story on them, which is actually kind of interesting. Because Somalia, which hasn't really had a government since '91, the people there, especially along the coast, their primary resource was fishing. Well, once their government disappeared, there was nobody to enforce marine laws. So they became the place where fishing trawlers from nations all over the world would come and steal millions and millions of dollars of fish. And so they organized flotillas of resistance, and that was one of the first organizing of the so-called pirates. And then huge amounts of toxic waste were dumped off their shores. Nuclear waste, drums of God knows what, jumped off ships into their waters. The tsunami, the big tsunami, stirred a lot of that up. The death rates increased. They were getting really messed over. So that's the origins of the resistance of the pirates, so to speak, who see their job as protecting their own people. They're supported by their own people, and they started out and have become literally Robin Hoods trying to get some support for their own communities. Yet that becomes this big story about the Somali pirates, and our ships are going in to repress and kill these people. And they shot a couple of them because they captured that cabin, the Captain Phillips on one of the ships, and then he was a hero. And they caught the one guy, and they just now indicted a 16-year-old kid. I mean, this is what we're, you know, challenging with. I don't want to talk about the flu too much. I mean, it's the flu. 30,000 people a year in the country die from the flu. You know, and the front page stories were, you know, it's coming, it's here, it's first ones in California and the United States, and our headline in the Press Democrat, first U.S. death. Well, this was a 2-year-old that they had flown in from Mexico City to Houston to try to save his life, and he died. There hasn't been anybody in the U.S. that's died from it yet, and it's fading away, and maybe there will be some mutations of this, and it could turn into something serious, but it's not that now. Yet, you know, they keep us like mushrooms, you know, in the dark, and feeding us a lot of you-know-what, and trying to keep us, you know, scared. I mean, the real message from corporate media today is shut up and go shopping. I mean, that's the message. And Bob McChesney said that. I'm not going to claim that I made that one up. But, I mean, that's the message. And, you know, go buy stuff. That's what they said after 9/11. That's what can we do? And Bush gets on television and he says, well, you can go shopping. Remember all the little shopping things and the American flag things were all in the store's windows after 9/11? I mean, that was the response.